this video, I'll share with you exactly how I was able to be successful going straight to a studio salon and renting a studio salon without first building a clientele. Now, when I share this strategy, stylists usually have one of two reactions. The first is they're really excited about it and they're inspired and they go to implement it right away. And then the second is they're super offended that I would even suggest this strategy. They don't really understand it. They don't really understand why it works, and they don't like it at all. So at the end of this video, I want you to tell me which one of those you are in the comment section. This is still just like such a huge deal to me, and it's hard to believe that this actually happened. So I left Seattle and I moved all the way down to Southern California, and we lived in a new city. I actually grew up in California, but I'd never, done hair down there or anything like that. So I moved to a brand new city where I literally had zero clientele, nobody. And to top it off, I had just left a full clientele that I had worked so hard to build. So that's super stressful. And I know a lot of you are in that situation too. Now, to make things even more stressful was my husband at the time had not yet fulfilled his dream of like following his career and making, the money that he hoped to be making yet. He was still working as an EMT. He wanted to be a firefighter, but he was still working as an EMT with basically a minimum wage job. So both of us, combined, me had no income, he had a minimum wage job. These were high stakes. So what most stylists would do in this situation is work at a salon, build up their clientele, and then move to a studio salon. But this just isn't me. I felt bad working at a salon just for the purpose of bringing that clientele with me and them losing all that business. I don't know why, it just doesn't sit right with me if I know that that is my ultimate goal. So I just went straight to paying for a studio without even having any clients on the books. And I was completely terrified. Like really scared that I wasn't going to be able to build. I didn't even know exactly how I was going to do it. It was just one of those things, and I'm like, I just have to do it this way. I'm gonna figure it out. So after some time of like not really having a lot of clients in or having some bad experiences with the first few clients, I started to really doubt, my plan, which wasn't much of a plan, but I started to doubt, is this gonna work for me? Was I kind of a fool to do this? I felt like I made a big mistake and I'd maybe bitten off more than I can chew. So I was like, maybe I should just kind of be humble about this, shut it down, go work for a salon instead of trying to start a brand new business with no clientele. And what's even crazier actually is I found out a few spaces next to me, the business of balayage artists had studios. So they were super amazing and talented artists, and they were just a few spaces down for me. Like, how am I gonna compete with that? I knew I had to do something very different than what most stylists in my area were doing if I wanted to make myself stand out in my area. Of course, I knew like the fastest way to get clients in the door was just to give discounts out, post on social media, just hand them out to people you see. Because who doesn't like discounts, right? Well, it turns out your dream clients really don't. They think they want discounts, they think they want the lowest price, but what they really want is confidence that you're going to be able to deliver the exact results that they are looking for, and just like help guide them in getting them to a look that they want. In fact, this should be the #1 goal of your marketing. If in your marketing efforts, you can create an experience that develops confidence in your ideal clients, that you're able to satisfy the exact details and desires that they are looking for, you're gonna win them as a client every single time, no matter who the competition is, no matter how many other hairstylists in your area there are. This is the key. When I finally internalized this, it changed everything for me because I realized I didn't have to sell myself short, give discounts, just do all of these ridiculous marketing tactics just to get people in the door, Groupon, things like that. I realized I no longer had to do these things as long as I understood that really important point. Okay, so what did I end up doing that allowed me to build my clientele of my dream client specifically so quickly? Here's what I did. I worked on models for free. Now I know what you're thinking. Lauren, I know my worth. I am not doing free work. But let me ask you a question. What do you think that you're worth? Next question. Are clients eager to pay this, and are they lining up at the door to get services from you based on what you think you're worth? If the answer is no, here's a hard truth. You're not worth it. Ouch. Lauren, the internet told me that I'm worth it and I'm enough just the way I am. This is one of the most frustrating things that I hear on the internet from other educators and other hairstylists is know your worth. Like, what does that even mean? You are worth it, you are enough. Like, what does that even mean? That's just kind of like emotional nonsense, just kind of making us feel good, honestly. Here's the truth. Sure, you are a human being and therefore you have inherent worth and you are intrinsically valuable. But when it comes to the marketplace, you are worth precisely what clients are willing to pay. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you being your client or paying you for a service. If you want to get paid, you need to be able to provide value and demonstrate value that people actually really care about. Now here's the good news. You can do this very easily by simply building a brand. Building a brand is very different than just going out and trying to get clients. It's a little bit more of a long game, but it's so important because it gets you better clients and more high quality clients, more high paying clients. Now, one of the best ways to build a brand is by doing free work, but it has to be very intentional. So let me explain exactly what you should do if you decide that you want to try this. So here's how this works. What I would do is go out and find people that were perfect for showcasing the exact looks that I wanted to be putting in front of my ideal clients, that I wanted my ideal clients to be seeing. So here's what most stylists do. Most stylists, when they are done with the service, they take a few photos and post them on Instagram and hope that this is going to get them new clients. This is what most of the advice is out there. But let me ask you a question. How many times have you gone to take photos of a client and realized, oh my gosh, I have another client coming in, I'm rushing to get through the style, I'm completely exhausted by the end of this big transformation that I just did, and it's really difficult to actually get the photos and videos that you're actually proud to post. Comment yes below if this has ever happened to you. So you snap a few photos and then hurry to get to your next client. Then later, when you're kind of looking at the photos that you took that day and reviewing everything, you realize, oh, I didn't really get the right lighting, the styling was kind of out of place, the expression was a little bit awkward, or maybe you're thinking, why can't I get it to look the way it looks in person? It looks so good in person, why can't I get it to translate into photos? So most stylists just accept that it's not gonna be perfect, they post on social media, and then they just hope that they'll be able to get better content next time. Well, this right here is the reason you're not getting as many clients as you could be. So let's think about this. What do clients bring in to a consultation when they want to get their hair done? Well, most of the time they bring in photos from Instagram or Pinterest, right? So your job is to make sure that your content is on par with that. And I don't just mean let's do some highlights that are kind of similar to the inspiration photo. I mean, you get those details of the inspiration photo down and you put it out to your ideal clients. Let me give you an example of why this is so important. So let's say you're looking at an online clothing boutique. Like let's say you're looking at American Eagle or something. And you're on the website and you're looking at different articles of clothing and they have just an image of the clothing itself or just an image of a model simply wearing the clothing. Then you go to maybe Instagram and you see the model in their daily life with the clothing. You see how they wear it different ways, things like that. Which one do you think is more interesting? The catalog photo or the photos that I was describing before on social media, the more lifestyle photos, how you wear it, things like that. Well, these photos over here are gonna be much more interesting, whether they're videos, photos, whatever, are gonna be much more interesting than just an image of the product itself or just a boring photo of a model wearing it. So content where it is centered around creating an experience and a feeling is what is going to build desire in your clients to book. Not just simply taking photos of hair and hoping that just posting that is going to attract your client. This is one of the main reasons I encourage everybody to work on models. When you work on models too, the purpose of the entire event is you and your marketing. It's not about being nervous about pleasing a client because you're getting paid for it. This is one of the key aspects that will allow you to get much better content when you're trying to post on social media. And even if you're not trying to post on social media, it's going to get you looks that you are proud to market. So what's happening here is they are actually giving you their time. That's extremely valuable because remember, you've picked someone who is going to give you the exact results that you're looking for, who's going to help you get that. You're not just choosing a random person who just wants a free service. You are choosing the model specifically to fulfill your marketing purposes. They are giving you their time so that you can then create the look that you need to create in order to attract your ideal clients, get the content that you need to create in order to attract your ideal clients. This gives you the freedom to have so much more control over things like the time of day, You tell them the schedule. You don't work around their schedule. You say, this is when I'm going to be doing this service. Are you available? This is not a paying client, so you're not having to manipulate your schedule to make sure that you can get them in. That's not what this is about. This is an event, and you are allowing them to be part of it. You also get to plan out ahead of time the exact shots that you want to get, and you're able to dedicate the correct amount of time that you need in order to get those shots. There's nothing more frustrating than trying to cram in good content, taking good photos. There's a lot that goes into taking good photos. It's not just snap, snap like it used to be. There's a lot that goes into taking good photos and making good content for social media. So this allows you to have that dedicated time for that specific purpose. And let me tell you something. This may seem like a waste of time. You think like, okay, I just need to fill my books with as many clients as possible. But if you can dedicate in the beginning time to really strengthening your marketing in this way, it's going to last you for years to come. Okay, so this is a really good investment. So here are some practical tips to actually get started doing this. Step number one is I want you to just go to Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and just gather an inspiration board essentially. So anytime you see something that's like, I wanna be doing more of this work and I wanna be attracting more of these types of clients, go ahead and just save it. So maybe spend like 10 minutes just finding inspiration photos, videos, and content. You're then going to go ahead and save it. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to wanna find models that are going to be perfectly suited to showcasing these different looks. Because if you think about it, not every single client is the best candidate or has the best hair for showcasing the exact thing that you're trying to showcase. So make sure that you choose models that are going to be able to convey the experience and look that you're trying to convey in photos. Now, this is so important because a lot of times, if you're first building a clientele, you don't really even have clients to take photos of. So this is another reason why working on models is so good, but actually, you are being so specific about them that you're able to start attracting and targeting the exact people that you're trying to bring in, not just posting random photos of clients. It is so important that if you're trying to attract a specific clientele, the majority of your work is that look and exactly what they are looking for. Sometimes I would even recommend not posting some of your clients if they don't fit that description of exactly what you're trying to attract. But this is why working on models will never be a waste of time if you are doing it with this intention. Now, if you're just putting it out there, hey, come be a model for free, I'll do this look on you, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about being very intentional about who you're choosing because you're trying to put those people and these looks in front of your ideal clients. Comment below if that's making sense. But when you do it this way, you start to build a unique brand for yourself, and this is what allows you to build a high quality clientele very quickly. Again, this is exactly what I did. I did nothing else. I didn't do discounts. I didn't do door-to-door type things like going and telling other businesses I'm a hairstylist and here's some cards. I never did that type of stuff. This is exactly what I did, I promise you. So what do you say to a potential model that you want to work on? This could be kind of awkward and maybe you might feel a little uncomfortable doing this. My best piece of advice is to present this in a way that positions this as a great opportunity for them, not simply a free hair service. So for example, if you say, hey, I'm new to the area and I'm trying to build my clientele, would you be a model? This is not something that I would recommend saying at all, even though it might be true. That's not how I would approach or how I would frame this. This kind of gives off the impression that you're not really super confident, you're not really well established, and you have to remember that even though this person is going to get their hair done for free, they still care about their hair. They still care about the outcome of it. So if you present it that way, it doesn't really convince them to do it. And you have to remember that you're still selling this service, even if they're getting it for free. Even if they don't have to pay for it, it's still something that you have to be persuasive about.
So you want to present this to them by making sure that they understand what this costs regularly, and you want to make sure that you explain to them why you think this would be such a good opportunity for them specifically. You want to show them inspiration photos of the look that you are going to create, get them excited about this opportunity, and make sure that they understand why this is being offered for free. Now, if the idea of actually following through with this, like maybe talking to models makes you feel a little bit nervous, I actually created a mini course and it's inside my Ultra Blended Color library, which has all of my courses inside. But this mini course specifically inside that is going to give you all the scripts that you need to do model call posts to actually reach out to people what you should say so that you don't feel awkward. Like I just give you the exact words and you could always change them just to make it fit your tone a little bit, but I just give you what worked for me and what made me present myself in a professional way that didn't feel like I was desperate, but made me position myself as a professional that was giving them this great opportunity. So I have all the scripts and all the details of how to actually implement everything I'm sharing with you in this video. And if you guys are interested in that, you can check the link in the description below. Now, if all of this feels like a lot of work to you, guess what it is? And you're not going to get clients overnight. It's very different than all of those quick tactics like handing out discount cards or handing out business cards. All of those things can get you clients very quick, but you want to ask yourself if those are the clients that you actually want. People that just jump from discount to discount and don't really care about finding a good relationship with someone that they can work with for a long period of time. This is a much longer game strategy because your goal is not just to get clients, it's to actually build a brand and reputation for yourself, which leads to you being able to book clients that come to you for the work that you do, not just because you have a discount. They don't no-show. I, in fact, had 0 no-shows after I started trying to build my clientele this way. So that saves so much money. You could look up reports online about how much money you actually lose from no-shows. But aside from that, you will not get no-shows if you are able to establish a brand and a reputation for yourself, and clients pay more. You are able to build trust and desire with somebody who wants exactly what you're offering. So that makes them willing to pay more. It builds up desire and makes them willing to pay more for the service, especially clients who have been to other people and now they really know what they want. And if you're able to offer that to them and demonstrate that you can offer that to them, you're going to win every time. Now, I promise you, listen to this because I promise you this will be the case. If you work on models consistently for even just a few weeks, it personally took me just a few weeks to see a lot of traction, but you are going to see traction. And from there, all you need is a small few, that reputation to start spreading very quickly. It's slow in the beginning. It takes you, a few weeks of like, why am I even doing this? Is this going to even work for me? It took me about 12 weeks to finally become fully booked out and realize that what I was doing was actually working. So you have to be patient in a long game strategy, but it's going to pay off so much more. It's going to take you to those levels that you weren't sure how you were going to get to before by just, trying to stay busy with low paying clients. So I have a full mini course, like I said, inside my Ultra Blended Color library, which again is extremely affordable. It's accessible to all stylists. I have so many courses in there. It's lifetime access. You get the model mini course, plus you get to learn all of my lived in color techniques and reverse balayage. So you'll actually have the skill to kind of back up your marketing. It's a one-time fee for lifetime access. So right now we're not doing a subscription model. It used to be a subscription model. We're just doing lifetime access because I want it to be available for everyone. So again, check the link in the description, but I wanted to give you some steps to get started right now. So if you are serious about implementing this model method, this is what I suggest to get started. I want you to make it your goal to work on 12 models. Can you do 12 models? Have you done 12 clients? You could do 12 models. Your goal with these 12 models is to create impactful inspiration photos. So I want you to go to Pinterest, go to Instagram, get 12 different looks that you were like, okay, this is what I want to showcase. This is what I want to be able to do. And this is what I want to be able to show future clients so that they start coming to me for this work specifically. If you are on Pinterest or on Instagram looking for inspiration, you can actually, of course, save different albums so that you can organize your thoughts and your vision more accurately, and then you could just kind of go back to it. You might even want to take notes on what you're thinking of doing, but you can organize all your different shoot days, your 12 different shoot days, by just creating different albums for what you want to create on that day. That way, when you go to search for models, you already have your content in mind, and when they ask you questions, you'll know exactly how to answer it. They'll know exactly what looks you're trying to go after. But the main purpose of these 12 models is not to do free work so that hopefully they come back to you. They probably will come back to you, maybe some of them will, but just remember that's not the goal. The purpose of the 12 models is to build that content strategy and to build your reputation, your networking, your relationships with people in your community at the same time. And I just want you to imagine for a moment, if you've worked on 12 different people, Do you think none of those people are going to be talking about you in their different social circles or to their friends and family or even posting online? Do you think none of them are going to be doing that? They're absolutely going to be doing that because you are giving them an incredible experience. And bonus, they didn't even have to pay for it, but you want to make sure that you are giving them an experience that is unlike anything that they've ever done themselves. And you are creating so much content for you to be able to post on Instagram or wherever you feel like posting, Facebook, so that you're not trying to constantly come up with content ideas all the time. My whole idea of marketing is put in a hard sprint and work very hard in the beginning so that you can coast later and feel confident later and enjoy your career later. But while you're slow and you're insecure, work on those models. Now, after you worked on those 12 models, you are 100% going to see a little bit of traction. And from there, it just grows and grows. And you no longer have to do as much work to start to build your clientele. Like I said before, put in all that work in the beginning so that you can coast later. But what a lot of people do is they go into marketing without a solid plan. They're just trying to implement little tactics here and here, and they're not really implementing a solid plan, so they don't really know where they're going. And when things don't really work right away, they get discouraged and they end up stopping or quitting. So that's why I really encourage you to create this vision board, get all of your models lined up, get all of your photo shoot ideas lined up, all of the colors that you want to do, think about your placements ahead of time, then go out and find your models, get this content, build your reputation up, and see what this can do for you. You don't get those clients right away, but you start building a reputation right away and a strong brand right away. So I really want to just hone in on that point that if you want to really grow as a hairstylist, your brand and your reputation is everything. Now, you can have a brand and a reputation for doing, pretty good work for a really good price. Or you can build a brand and reputation for delivering an experience unlike anyone has ever had, giving value that nobody else gives in your area. This will set you apart and it will make sure that clients are willing to pay more for your services, because even in this economy, clients will pay more for services that they see more value in. So if you're willing to start really taking your career seriously, putting all of this effort up front into building your reputation and building your brand, right now I am offering the model mini course inside my full education library, which is extremely affordable. I want you to check it out in the description below. This video is part of a whole series that I created to help you with marketing. So if you would like to check out the rest of the series, you can click the video that is on the screen right now. Thank you again so much, and I will see you soon.